Let's go to Skype and bring in one of the Rockies' starting pitchers. In fact, the guy's going to get the opening day assignment for the Rockies. Kyle Kendrick, one of the newest members of the Colorado Rockies. Kyle, how you doing? You didn't hear Mark say that just now, did you?
That's unbelievable. Can't believe that.
We want to invite. We're happy that Kyle joined us. We welcome you to Denver. When you do get here, you're now in Scottsdale. Woody Paige and Mark Kiszla and Les Shapiro, and we've watched you pitch for many years with the Philadelphia Phillies, and we do welcome you to town and hope you have a great, successful season here. But let's start it off with what you probably just heard, that it's my belief that the game of baseball is great. I would just like to see it compacted a little bit so that there's rhythm. And I would think for a pitcher that you would love that baseball batters have to kind of stay in the box or get back in the box because it breaks your rhythm, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's funny. I heard you guys talking about that, and I heard you guys talking about Tulo. And I actually last year, on a serious note, I actually yelled at him because he was taking so long. So during a game, so it's now we're teammates. It's kind of funny, but I think the batters. That's what they're trying to do is just keep the batters in the box. I don't think it's so much with the pitching. I believe it's more with the hitting.
Hey, Kyle, there aren't a whole lot of pitchers that want to come to Coors Field. So I'm wondering, and there aren't a whole lot of pitchers, that like to throw strikes at Coors Field. You know this. Yeah. You've pitched here plenty. You are a strike thrower, but there are a lot of pitchers who come here and are intimidated. They don't want to throw strikes because then they won't get whacked around the park. So I'm wondering what went into your thinking about actually signing with the Colorado Rockies.
You know what? I enjoy. I pitched in a small park my whole career, as you guys know. In Philadelphia, is not the biggest of ballparks. I enjoy pitching in Denver. I like that park. I've always liked playing against those guys. Those group of guys I have now, especially the younger guys. I mean, they have a good team. They're going to score a lot of runs. I like that. Their defense, they have some Gold Glove, obviously defense. Third baseman Tulo, even DJ at second, and Justin over first. I mean, they Gold Glove infield. So I'm I was excited when Colorado called right before Christmas and talking to Jeff a couple times before we decided to go there. And, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously we all know it's not they say it's not the best place to pitch, but, I'm not really worried about that. I'm just looking forward to getting the season going with these guys.
Kyle's appearance brought to us by Papa John's. Go to papajohns.com. Kyle, we have pizza on the set if you'd like a piece. Just let us know.
You know what? I'm actually going to have lunch after this. That looks pretty good.
Roy Halladay, one of the greatest baseball players to come out of Colorado. He kind of took you under his wing. Little Roy? Really? Did he used to call you Little Roy?
You know what? I was not Little Roy. Definitely not. I looked up to him a lot. He right away when we signed him, I asked if I could, kind of work out with him and just see how he goes about his routine. And, I wanted, in my eyes, he was the best pitcher in the last 10 years. So I thought I could learn a lot from him, and I did learn a lot from him. His work ethic, how he went about, his business every day. And, I know he's from Denver, so that was pretty cool. But he was definitely one of the best teammates I've had, and learned a lot from him.
Some people felt that Roy was a little bit difficult. He had his own, you talking about going about his business. He wouldn't talk on the day before he was going to pitch. He felt like that he wanted to totally concentrate. I always respected the way he went about his business, and you said you sort of, I would guess he mentored you a little bit. But I asked him one night, you guys were playing in Colorado a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and there was a rain out, and I said, does this really count that you can't talk today because you didn't talk yesterday? And he said, yeah, I'm pitching tomorrow. So I think some people kind of read him the wrong way, but I'm sure you saw the other side of it, that he was concerned about exactly what he was doing. And I assume you try to go about it in a business-like manner.
No question. Roy was one of the probably most focused guys I've ever seen in between, just every day at the field. I mean, in between starts, especially the day he was starting. I mean, you didn't talk to him at all. That's just the way he went about his business to get focused and ready for the game. And I learned a lot from him on and off the field. And I was fortunate. I've had some good teammates over there. Especially pitchers that I've played with, in Roy and Cliff Lee and Roy Oswald. So very fortunate with those group of guys I got to play with.
Hey, Kyle, back to Coors Field for a second. You pitched in a park that was considered a bandbox in Philadelphia. So I'm guessing you probably aren't as intimidated by Coors Field, right? Because been there, done that?
Definitely not. I'm not at all. You know what? The thing about Coors is it's actually a big field. I think it's a big outfield. There's a lot of grass out there. I think that's where you can get, a lot of the damage is you get those bleeders in there, those Texas leaguers, as we call them, and you got to stay away from walks also. Obviously, the ball travels a little more there, but if you keep the ball down and make your pitches, I mean, you're going to get outs. And especially like with our defense we have, I think, it shouldn't. I mean, you're going to have some hits that maybe shouldn't.
Kyle, what
somewhere else, but.
How have you approached this spring? I would think being with a new team after being with the Phillies for so long that there's kind of a tendency psychologically to say, well, I need to go out and impress these guys. But at the same time, go about your work and say, I've got to prepare for this season. And were you the back part of that was, were you a bit surprised that they named you the opening day starter?
Your first question, I guess, comment, yeah, definitely. When you first signed, I mean, as you know, with Philly, so I came over here and I wanted to, you're right, make an impression. My first couple of bullpens, I was kind of letting it eat a little bit, but the guys have been great over here. Kind of taking me in and getting to meet the guys, and the guys have been really good about that. And opening day start, that I was excited about it. Obviously Dale was kind of pushed back a little bit because of his groin, so I don't know if he was, quite ready for that, but I was very honored when Walt called me in and told me, and I'm looking forward to it.
When I look at your resume here, it has a long history and a distinguished history in the major leagues. But there's one part I don't quite understand. In 2008, the Phillies traded you to Japan.
Here we go. I knew you guys were bring this up. Yeah, I was very young. Very young at the time. I think I was 22. And that was actually my first big league camp. I already had time in 07.
Right.
That was my first big league spring training. And, young and naive, and had no idea that could not happen. But they pulled a quick one on me.
You should have changed your name to Young. You would have fit right in.
Yeah, fans love to bring that up too still. And, I laugh at it.
I'd rather ask you a serious question. You guys are going off you're going off in the weeds there, guys. You are known as a quote innings eater, which is a very professional way about being a major league pitcher. The Rockies have had over the last several years, we're not telling you anything you don't know, guys that couldn't go into the sixth, couldn't reach the seventh inning. They also tried that piggyback operation that didn't work, and last year they kind of told their pitchers, we're going to put you at a 100 pitch limit. Have you heard anything about that, or is your indication is that you'll be able to, as you have done before, to pitch into the seventh and eighth inning, maybe go the distance if you can?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't heard anything about a pitch limit. I hope, and hoping there's really no limit. I think it should be, 100, whatever. Last year I threw 115 pitches in April. I think it should just be, if the guy's getting tired, if you're getting hit around, if you're not getting the job done. I think, if guys are cruising, into the seventh, eighth inning and you have 100 pitches and you're kind of cruising, I think, why not keep you in there for, see if you can get through the eighth or ninth. But, I hope there's no 75 limit like they had a couple years ago, whatever it was.
Hey, Kyle, before we let you go, the three of us have been in clubhouses for an accumulated 100 years, I think. We know how it works during spring training. You guys have an NCAA tournament pool. Who's shooting off their mouth? Who's doing well?
You know what? Obviously it's early. I'm actually watching the game. Kind of keep an eye on the game.
Is that what you're looking at? Every time you look up, is that what you're watching? Thanks for paying attention.
I need Northern Iowa to a big winner over Wyoming.
Well, he can multitask. He'll be able to pitch the opener and watch the NCAA tournament on the scoreboard at the same time.
He'll be carrying his
I think
phone.
he pulled away a little bit. I think they're up by like 12.
Good. You should have given us an update throughout this interview there.
Innings eater, anchorman.
Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Kyle, we appreciate your time. We wish you good luck with your NCAA bracket, and we certainly wish you a lot of good luck in a Rockies uniform. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, great.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks very much.
we'll see you at Coors Field soon enough. Kyle Kendrick.
Bye.